KIK-FM 107, that's Cyndi Lauper from her album She's So Unusual and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Meryl Streep is a girl who likes to have fun, at least she ought to be having fun, one of the finest actresses in America, and she gets some great films to play in. Saw her again the other night in Sophie's Choice. Apparently there's a group in Florida that wants Meryl Streep to declare herself as a candidate for Vice President of the U.S. in 1984. It's the Meryl Streep for Veep Committee, and they even filed a statement with the election people. They said that the Democrats need a Hollywood film star on the 84 ticket to balance out Ronald Reagan. And the committee thinks Streep, of course, has the intelligence, the wisdom, and the popular appeal that will make her an ideal running mate for any Democratic leading man. Because they think that Meryl can do for the Democratic presidential candidate what she did for Dustin Hoffman in Kramer versus Kramer or for Kevin Kline in Sophie's Choice, and that is make a leading man look good. But is America really ready for another actor in the White House? Maybe, because Meryl Streep is not only more talented than Ronald Reagan, she's smarter than he is too. Good morning, I'm Jaime Wohl. I've got some good stuff coming up in the next few hours. I'm filling in for Robin LaRose while he vacations. We have Blue Plate Special with the Police, too, today at 12:30. Fancy Ass, Jordache, Britannia, Big Blue. The top names in the right fit. Stylish looks for the season. All at Boot & Jean. Go anywhere. Compare the prices. Compare the selection. Boot & Jean will stand against them all. This season, move in the right circle with jeans from any of the 7 Boot & Jean locations. It's Friday on a holiday weekend, so it's time to let the good times roll. Hear the Cars on KIK. KIK-FM 107, Red Wine, that's UB40, doing a great version of Neil Diamond's song. And also in a big country, one of the best debut albums of 1983. And if you're looking for the best albums of 1983, the 107 Hit Kickers will be here for you on New Year's Day, starting at 3 in the afternoon. We'll be counting down the top 107 Hit Kickers of 1983. Good morning, it's 19 before 11 o'clock and -9. Coming up, some Bob Seger and John Cougar. KIK-FM 107, The Stranger Blues. That's Jim Burns from Vancouver. I caught him last New Year's Eve in Edmonton at a little bar, and he was just superb. R&B New Year's Eve, always some good dancing that way. If you're into a rock and roll New Year's Eve, have we got a show for you. Streetheart and the Headpins will be rocking down at the Saddle Dome New Year's Eve, and you'll have plenty of time for your own parties afterwards, as the show will be getting out around 11 o'clock. Plenty of time to get with all your friends at some kind of indoor party that isn't as public, but early on in the evening, some fine rock and roll, and we'll be there, and we'll hope to see you there. Coming up in about 15 minutes, Terry Michael's in with Canadian Living, some advice about lifestyles in the 80s. And coming up, the Romantics. 6 before 11. This is the Romantics and Talking in Your Sleep on KIK. KIK-FM 107, that's The Reflex from Duran Duran, 7 and the Ragged Tiger, and the Spoons, Don't Shoot the Messenger. It is -7 and getting warmer. Good Chinook cloudiness around, and it'll be around tomorrow as well. The high today will get to about 0, and the high tomorrow near +2. And it's great skiing weather. I haven't had a chance yet to try out my new skis I had for Christmas, but I do think I'm going to try this weekend. And if I'm going up skiing, I'm going to call the KIK ski phone, because that's ski information 24 hours a day. And if you need the ski information, keep this number handy, 244-7555. And ski reports are on 3 times daily with Ron Rimmer. Your next ski report is at 6 tonight.
I'm Terry Michael for Canadian Living.
Thanks, Terry. This is ZZ Top on KIK. KIK-FM 107, that's 38 special. And if I've been the one, and New Year's Day live from you too, and you can get that on their new specially priced single live album, which is excellent performances. If you have some extra jobs to give to anyone and you need someone to work cheap and work hard, Mount Royal College students need some part-time jobs during the day, evenings, and weekends. If you'd like to hire a student, Call Mount Royal College Student Employment Center at 240-6308. We're about a half an hour away from the news with Holly and Jock. And in about an hour's time, today's Blue Plate Special featuring The Police and their second album, Regatta de Blanc. A little Eastern flavor from Yes, from their album 90125. It Can Happen on KIK. KIK-FM 107 and a double shot of Joe Jackson, Memphis, and I'm the Man. We are sure about Humble Howard. He is the man in the morning. And if you haven't had a chance, don't forget today's the last day to vote for Humble Howard because the contest closes in the Calgary sun. So don't forget, who do you turn on in the morning? The contest could win you a trip to sunny, warm spots south of us. Vote for Humble in 1984. Andrew was saying this morning, Humble said if he doesn't win, he's not coming back. And mornings just wouldn't be the same without Humble Howard. So do vote for him. Coming up in 15 minutes, Holly's in with KIK Info 107 and Jock with the sports. It is about 19 before noon and the lunch hour. From their new album 1984, this is Van Halen and Jump on KIK. KIK-FM 107 live after dark. That's Street Heart and their version of the Small Faces Tin Soldier, done live as it'll be done this Saturday night when KIK rocks the Saddle Dome with Street Heart and the Headpins. It'll be a hot night of rock and roll and parties. Parties everywhere all over North America on New Year's Eve. In fact, in some other countries too, although not in all of them. It's a few minutes before noon, and it's time for the sports. Here's Jock.
Good afternoon.
It's -6, and it'll be a little cloudy this afternoon, but mostly sunny tomorrow. More variable Chinook clouds, and a high of +2. Overnight, it'll only get down to about -10. KIK-FM 107 and the Headpins, and just one more time. And this afternoon, some of the Headpins will be dropping by, Darby and Brian, I think, to say hi, as they always do every time they come to town. They'll be talking to JOC this afternoon. Hi, I'm Jaime Wohl. Hope you're enjoying your lunch hour. I'm having some of my grape juice. Oh, it's good. And I was just thinking about the film I saw last night on Pay TV. One of my favorites. It's the second time I've seen it, Quadrophenia. It's a movie produced by The Who, but it's not about The Who. It's all about the youth in Britain in the early 60s and how destructive and violent they could be. And as a matter of fact, they still are now. It's a very violent society. The Mods and the Rockers were the groups back then, although today it's the skinheads and the punks and the headbangers. And kids are always the same when they either are unemployed or just, too much time on their hands, basically. Back then, it got very violent up in Brighton, and lots of riots, lots of people beating up on each other. The movie actually is a story of a young guy who grew up as a mod. He wanted to get ahead. He wanted to be not like anybody else, and he thought by being a mod, he could distinguish himself. Mods were very much into dressing properly and having fun, although they were also into leapers and all kinds of other little pills, which kind of destroyed their brains. Anyhow, if you've heard the story of Quadrophenia, you need not hear it again. If you haven't seen the movie and you get another chance, brilliant piece of film. Very, very intense movie. And so is the music, of course. This is one of the finest cuts from the Quadrophenia album from The Who. It's called Love, Rain, or Me on KIK. KIK-FM 107, riding on the Blue Highway with Billy Idol and The Who from Quadrophenia. Blue Plate Special's next. Good afternoon, I'm Jaime Wohl. I'm sitting in for Robin LaRose, who's on holiday, and it's time for the Blue Plate Special. And today, The Police. With The Police's debut album, Outlandos d'Amour, they made quite a splash back in '79, winning all kinds of awards as the best new group that year. In late '79, with their second album, Regatta de Blanc, they showed how much they deserved that title. On Regatta de Blanc, the Police perfected their reggae-influenced rock sound. The music is more hypnotic and rhythmic, and the band sounds a little more cohesive. Apparently, the band hadn't played much together when they recorded their first album, but they toured together extensively by the time they've recorded their second album, which tightened them up quite a lot. The Police's sound has been one that's been widely imitated over the last few years, but I think you'll agree no one does it as well as the Police. This is Message in a Bottle on KIK. KIK-FM 107 and the Police, Regata de Blanc. Oh, I could listen to the Police all day. Should I? Maybe some more later on this afternoon. That's today's Blue Plate special, and tomorrow we'll listen to Saga and the album Worlds Apart. Jimbo Callahan's in this afternoon. At 3 o'clock, he'll bring us a focus featuring a great Stones album, Let It Bleed. That's at 3 this afternoon. And then at 6 o'clock tonight, join Alison Brock for Hit Kickers, Calgary's top 10 rock and roll albums. KIK-FM 107, that's new from Simple Minds, called Waterfront. The album's not out yet. It will be out in January, however, and it's called Sparkle in the Rain. But you can get that song as a 12-inch right now. If you're a Simple Minds fan, it's 4 now before 1 o'clock, -5 and beautiful and sunny. We're expecting some clouds this afternoon and some clouds again tomorrow. And tomorrow it'll be +2. Nice to see the plus side of the scale again, eh? Think back to all of 1983 and try to think of what your favorite album was for the year. It's hard sometime, eh? I can't quite think of exactly what my favorite album was of the year. I have a few. But you can hear some of the very, very best on Sunday here at KIK. We'll be running down the top 107 hit kickers of 1983. It starts at 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon, and by midnight we'll know what Calgary's top hit kicker of 1983 was. Take it higher with the Flyer, Saga on KIK. Demolition Man, Somewhere in Africa. That's Manfred Mann, the new album on KIK-FM 107. And Marianne Faithfull with Broken English. While you're partying over the holiday season, don't forget the KIK Concert Connection. It's open to you 24 hours a day. When you need somewhere to party, somewhere to have fun, think of us and call 244-8882. It's the Molson Concert Line, the KIK Concert Connection. Someone should put a gag. This is Rush and New World Man on KIK. FM 107 from the golden age of wireless, the song that started it all for Thomas Dolby, Europa and the Pirate Twins. Coming up tomorrow night, the Calgary Rugby Union is having their New Year's Eve bash with Harlequin from Winnipeg and special guests Trigon. They're expecting about 1,700 people. It'll be at the KCR Hall, 35th Avenue and 19th Street Northeast. And you can get tickets in advance or at the door. $25 per person, including dinner and a fully licensed bar.